Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today I'm going to be answering some of the questions y'all have sent my way over the past month. If you have questions you'd like me to answer on future videos like this, then please drop them in the comment section down below this video, or head on over to the CasualSAB Discord and put them in the monthly Q&A channel. And as always, I'll do my best to have chapters to each question that I'm answering today posted down below. And yes, I look like I just woke up because I did in fact just wake up. Okay, first question here from Steven. What is my favorite kind of video to make? Builds, news, TFO guides, etc. The solo TFOs. Those have been the most fun for me to do in recent times because it's me going in and figuring out how to overcome a challenge in the game. So when I actually do those, I feel like I've accomplished something within the game. Whereas I don't get that same feeling doing a news video or a build video. So the solo TFO runs are by far my favorite kind of video to make, but they are not popular at all. People are not generally interested in that type of content. So I haven't been doing them for the past month or so. I'm not done with them, for good, but though that's clearly the type of video that needs to be just a once every couple of month occurrence rather than multiple times in the same month. They just do not perform well. In fact, if you look at most of the solo TFO stuff that I did at the beginning of January and you add up all the views, most of my recent news videos are able to, on their own, get more views than all of those solo runs combined. So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but that's just how the viewership is for those videos. What mechanic or mechanics in STO do I think deserve an overhaul? Activation times. That absolutely needs an overhaul. As some of you know, high-end players don't really use team abilities anymore because the team abilities have an activation time that is really long, and abilities that have longer activation times mean that they can cause your weapons to not fire if your weapons come up for another cycle while that activation time is going on, so it can cause a delay in your weapons firing. So that's why we don't use team abilities on builds much anymore. And there's some newer consoles, like the one off the Praetor, that has a really nice plasma buff on it. I want to use it on my Dalkina, but I don't because of how long the activation time is on it. So if there was a way for weapons to continue firing and other abilities to go off while you had, the really long activation times going for some of these abilities, it'd be a lot better. But as is in STO, when you have an activation time going on something, nothing else can be activated in that time period, which really does suck. The other mechanic that needs an overhaul is the lockbox system. I've talked about the issues with the Infinity lockbox before, the fact that choice packs can't be sold directly on the exchange. That's why most of the prices on stuff keeps going up. The pity system, that needs to be like Neverwinter, where after 250 lockboxes opened, you're guaranteed to get a grand prize, even if you won one along the way. That should be a thing in STO to make the system more rewarding, to make you feel like you're getting something for your money. And of course, with the premium ships, the lockbox promo lobby, there needs to be a way for you to make them an account-wide unlock once you've acquired one. For example, if I pick up a lockbox ship on casual, it's going to be a couple years before that's put into a Muds bundle. Why isn't there a token where I can spend like 50 to 75 bucks or something to make that ship an account-wide unlock? I just spent over 100 bucks, basically worth of resources in the game to get it on that character. Why don't I have a way to make it now an account-wide unlock? The way that the system is structured now, where there's no way for me to make most of my premium ships account-wide unlocks, means that I no longer engage with most of my alt characters. I now pretty much just focus solely on casual. So Cryptic not providing me a way to immediately go in and make my premium ships account-wide unlocks means that at the end of the day, they're getting less money from me because I can just focus on one character now instead of the 5 or so that I used to play back in the day. Next question here from Steven is, what are my 5 favorite ship designs in the game? So this is going to be based on the looks of the ship, not the stats. So the Sovereign, of course, is very high up there on the list. I do legitimately like how the Sovereign looks. I just, again, wish there was a better version of it in the game. The Romulan ships, I've always been a big fan of the Mogai. So that's a ship that I really like visually, though the Delkina has been growing on me in recent times. For the KDF, the legendary Vorcha I think is cool. Um, then some other ships here. The Gem Dread carrier I've always been a fan of. That's one of the reasons I did pick up the carrier bundle, is just that this is a ship that I used to fly quite a bit, so it was sort of a nostalgic bundle for me to get because I enjoyed the Gem Dread carrier, I enjoyed the Zindi Briostress, but the Gem Dread carrier, I really like the visual options you get with that. I think it looks really cool. I also really like the Temporal Destroyers, especially the Fed and KDF ones. I think they look really neat. Not the greatest performers, of course, nowadays, but I do really like the visuals that they have. And there's a few other ships here or there. I can definitely go give you a list of more than 5, but the D4X I thought was cool. The Talaru was interesting visually. There's a lot of really interesting looking ships in the game. It's just that for a lot of them, they haven't had the best setup stats wise. That's why I don't necessarily fly them that much in the game. Okay. Next question here. What do I think it would take to get veteran players excited about the game again? Server performance is the big one. The fact is, when you get to a very end game level and you're playing with a team full of players that are spamming a full tray of abilities that have lots of buffs on their build, the game performance gets worse. And if you go into the few 10-player queues that exist, you'll see that it gets even worse. So getting the server performance issues resolved, I think, would be a big boost to getting veteran players excited about the game again. Revamping the lockbox system, making it so you can get your premium ships on account wide unlock without a MUDs bundle, that would be really good. Because I know a lot of veteran players that, that they used to play a ton of alts, and now they're pretty much in the same situation as I, where we just focus on like one character nowadays, and that's a lot less engagement we have with the game, not as much diversity. So giving us a way to make things account wide unlocks be a big boost to the game overall, I feel. And fixing the server performance, that's critical. That has to be done no matter what. What TFOs do I think are the best designed or most enjoyable to run? The Borg ones. I absolutely hate time-gated content, and most of the TFOs from the past several years are just full of various time gates. So the Borg stuff, the fact that you can just go in, take out the enemies, and complete the TFO at your own pace, I like that. I don't like that you have other queues where it's just, hey, sit here for 10 minutes to get your reward. That just isn't fun to me. So having queues where you can go through and do them at your own pace, that's nice. Same for Core Fez. That's also really fun. It's similar in that regard, that you're pretty much getting through it as fast as you can, DPS through it. So I do really like that. Do I think we'll start seeing more TOS style ships from Strange New Worlds? Absolutely. Absolutely. Why do new players think mixing energy types and putting more than one twerp on a ship is a good idea? Because yeah, that's what Cryptic tells them, Darth. Because when someone is brand new to the game, they get a ship, and the ship, like the default gear on it, is just a mess of gear. So people don't know better. The game doesn't explain anything, and they just go with what they see on the ship initially. What is my favorite ship visually in STO? If I had to narrow it down to just one, I really like the Valdor. I really do. Darth, has Borticus returned to STO? He's still employed at Cryptic, but I don't think he's specifically on any team right now. He might be consulting, but he's definitely not listed as being on the STO team. Jackal, has there been any conclusive testing on the pet consoles to see if they're any good for pet builds? I did a stream right after these released where I went over them in quite a bit of detail, and I'll have that link down below for anyone interested. Given the questions that have been asked here, how likely am I to do this again next month? Here I am, Warpcore. Here I am. Okay, and Mark down here, let me bring this up. How can Cryptic learn from the mistakes of the 14th anniversary bundle contents with a view to planning for next year's bundle? I don't think Cryptic even knows about the feedback we had about it. I legitimately believe that Cryptic is so disconnected from the player base that they don't know about the issues most of us raised with the bundle. I think there are people on the dev team that watch, some of the CC content, but I think the people high up at Cryptic that make decisions, they are that disconnected from the player base. I think things are not being relayed to them, that I think they don't even know that there was an issue. So I don't think anything's gonna change. I don't think they're gonna learn from the mistakes at all, because I don't think they know that it was a mistake. And I know I've asked about the adapted destroyer, if they were at least going to make the stuff on it unlocked so it could be used on any ship, and I was told no, that's not even on that's not even being looked at. So clearly, whoever's deciding what to do with the game right now doesn't see any issue there, and is just moving on, or has already moved on and is working on the next thing. So I don't think Cryptic is going to learn anything from the 14th issues. And that's it for the Discord side questions. So let's hop on over to the YouTube. Okay, a lot of the YouTube side is basically just responses to things that I said in that video. So I'm gonna quickly go through this here. Zigzag camera zoom is still broken after 12 weeks. From what I've heard, that's now been fixed internally. And you guys are going to be getting that fix over on console on March 12th. So yeah, it's been around for a crazy long time for you guys, but hopefully that'll be fixed here in the next 2 weeks. So Jeff here asked where I think the power creep will come from with the 14th bundle, and my answer is the same as what I would have said 4 weeks ago: the Awani console and the pets. The Type 7 pets are game changers. They really are like the new meta debuff pets to use, and they have a huge impact on gameplay. And the console off the Awani also has turned out to be quite powerful. So yeah, the Awani definitely is where the power creep is from. Short, looks like the Duderstadt ship is oversaturated and the price is going down. So I actually looked at this on the market. The Duderstadt right now is 793 million. This is the last generation lockbox ship, and honestly, I think 793 million is overpriced. I don't think that this ship is worth what they're asking for it. I got it. I know I haven't done a review or even a stats breakdown yet for it. It's been out a month, and as far as I can tell, the Starship trade on it still doesn't work. The ship itself isn't that impressive. The console off of it, very underwhelming. Eventually, I might do a video on it, but I mean, it's just so underwhelming. I don't really have any motivation to cover it personally. Let's find the next question here. How do I find the D7 in the C store? So the Miracle Worker D7 is part of the Disco Inferno Muds bundle, and this is not on sale on PC right now. I think the console sale may have just ended, or if not, is ending very, very soon. But this Muds bundle has it on account-wide unlock, and it will be available again in future sales at a 50% discount. So if you want it, just wait for a proper 50% sale. For those of us on PC, that should pop up at the end of March. Hopefully we should see another bundle sale. Okay. Trying to find the next question. Darth, do I think omni-beams could get unrestricted in the near future? No. They shouldn't be, to be honest. I think a third omni would be fine, but allowing someone to have like 8 omnis on a build, I think that would be bad. That would make most other beams irrelevant for most people. So I think a third omni would be fine for dual beam bank setups, but beyond that, I personally don't think that would be wise from a game balance standpoint. Okay. Navy Man, I know I've covered I know you've covered this before, but if I could get a question in for the next time or just answered here, what is the cutoff for a ship to use Isomags versus Spire consoles? So I didn't answer this in text, but I do have this spreadsheet here. Personally, I will use Isomags when I am able to have 1 to 2 less of them on a build, then I'd be able to have locators or exploiters. And I will sometimes take a small damage hit to go with 2 less. For example, with the Rex, I used 4 Isomags instead of 6 locators, and you can see that that is a slight damage difference. But the benefit of that is I gain an extra console slot to put whatever I want on. So to me, I'm willing to take that 2 deficit in some situations, which as soon as you're able to slot 6 Isomags, that immediately is going to actually beat 8 locators or exploiters on a high-end build. So in some cases, having 2 less is still actually the better choice, but on a ship like the Rex, where I am using 2 less than I would have locators or exploiters on, I'm willing to take that slight damage hit to gain an extra console slot. And whenever it's 1 less Isomag versus locator or exploiter, the Isomags pretty much always went out once you have a couple of them on the build. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Isomags are really good. And next question here, again for the D7, it's the Disco Inferno Choice Pack in the Mud Store. What do carriers need? So Giant Dutch Viking asks, what do carriers need to at least get close to the high near max DPS? As in, what do they need to be fully viable in my opinion? There needs to be some really nice frigate pets that are able to do quite a bit of damage. The Romulan drone ships are really good in that regard, but they're locked to just a few ships, which really does suck. I think you would need pets to be able to do what, at least 2, 3, 4 times the amount of damage they do right now to really be competitive with what you see from some other build types. And even then, you would still see pets underperform. I don't know what Cryptic could do to fully get pets to be like, you know, fully viable, fully competitive. I don't really have a good answer there for that. Question 2, I tend to focus on Starfleet ships only. What am I missing from KDF Romulan side that I can't get with the Starfleet ship? Pretty much cloak. So for Klingon and Rom ships, they all pretty much have a cloak. And the Romulan ships do have singularity cores. Now, a lot of people hate singularity cores because you do lose 40 power to have that singularity core on your ship. But I think that some of the singularity abilities are quite nice. The one that spawns in a bunch of like photonic or what is it, warp singularities? Yeah, the one that spawns in a bunch of duplicates of your ship, that's really good for drawing threat off yourself for when you need some survivability. And having that just built into the warp core is pretty nice. The minus 40 power does suck, but that honestly isn't that big of an issue nowadays. So the cloak is the big one though. And to be fair, most people don't utilize cloaking, so you're not really missing out on that much. Let's see here. With the TV shows exploring more planetary environments, I'm also hoping to see more Strange New Worlds. Indeed. Yeah, again, it looks like pretty much most of the question, or most of these weren't questions, they were just responses to the things that I said there. So I think that's pretty much all the questions here. Again, if I missed any, you know, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. And again, the CasualSAB Discord has a monthly Q&A channel where if you want to post the questions, you know, just that'd probably be the better place to post them. But I will still, of course, go through and look at the YouTube comments. So let's talk about now some future plans. So as you guys know, I went in and I did a stream recently where, you know, I raised $300 to go through the entire Terran arc. And what I said I was going to do with the funds from that is I was going to pick up some MUDs bundles. And the reason I want to pick up some MUDs bundles is because a project I want to learn that I want to work on this year is gearing up a ROM Alien Engineer and a ROM Alien Psi. Hopefully with the same build, so I can go in and do some demonstrations as to, you know, the performance difference between each of the classes. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look for the mods bundles that will have the most impact, get me the things that I would need for both of those characters that I don't already have on account-wide unlock. So Disco Inferno, initially I wasn't going to go for that, but now that I'm going to work on this project, as soon as that goes up on sale, I'm going to pick that up. Get Ruin on all my characters. I've been thinking what else I want to do. I've thought about In Command because the Voth Rampart is a really nice account-wide tank, you know, for the recent meta with the D7s. The Friendship, I think, is better. I know Nick's not the biggest fan of the Friendship idea, but I think getting the Friendship or Voth Rampart on account-wide unlock would be nice also to have as a tanking option, and it's also a good tort platform. I've thought about Primary Faction just to get the Delkina and the Sarcophagus on account-wide unlock. You know, get the Delkina because you know that's one of the best ships in the game to me. And aside from that, I don't know. It's going to be a lot of thinking over the next month as to what mods bundles are going to have the most impact for this goal. Again, my plan right now is probably just do like a plasma setup on each of them, just to show the differences, you know, with the high end, you know, build between the different careers, and for me to just have, you know, some built out engine side characters again. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of that idea. Is there anything different I should do with it? Should I not do the exact same build on each of the characters? Should I differ things up? I'd be curious to hear what you guys think. But again, that's pretty much it for the questions today, and it's pretty early in the morning, so I'm going to cut this short. I need to go get my coffee, take a shower, then got some stuff to do today at the family, so I'm going to let you guys go. Again, if you have any questions or anything else you want to chip in, you know, feel free to drop it in the comment section down below or in the monthly Q&A channel over on the CasualSAB Discord, which is linked down below. But again, thank you all for tuning in, and thank you all for the continued support. I will see you guys around.